Hello, my name is Sam. As of this recording, I am currently 20 years old. As of this recording, I've come to a realization. Sam is the most overused name of all time. This name is slowly becoming the everlasting bridge between the world's population, and yes, I am dead serious about this. Everywhere you go, every person you meet, every profession and career, every country's notable population includes at least, but not limited to, one Sam. Imagine the scenario. You've walked into a room and there are three other people there you don't know. Maybe it's at the workplace, meeting of mutual friends, first day of uni, perhaps speed dating. Maybe you've just walked into the bedroom and found out that your significant other is having an affair with three other people simultaneously. Whichever it is, you have to ask for their names. Out of these three strangers, one of them most likely is a Sam. Either that, or they know of or are a close relative to a Sam. Oh, your name is Sam? You're the first person I've met with that name. False. This statement is false. It never happens. No one has ever said it. This is because Sam is probably the name of one of your cousins, or one of your classmates back in high school, or one of your girlfriend's siblings. I mean, even my dad had a dog named Sam. It was before I was born, but I know he had one. Did he name me after his dog? You may be thinking I'm being a little insane right now, but I beg to differ, dear viewer, because if you did the 30 minutes of research I've done before making this video, you would realize that your opinion is simply false. My opinion, right now, it is both red-pilled and based. Let's have a look at the top baby names of each year since I was born. As we look through each, you'll probably notice something early on within these first few. Given its stronghold on the first place, really I should be complaining about Jacob. I'll give it to you, that Jacob, Michael, Matthew, and Josh were basically acting like those Beatles songs that took up the entire Billboard top 5 that one time. However, I'm not looking at the top 5, or even the top 10. I'm looking within places 20 to 30. Within those of every single year, you'll see Samuel present every single time. By 2017, all 4 of those popular names were on their way out of the top 10 in place for better names like Mason. However, below that, Sam is still present. Let's jump ahead to a list of popular baby names for 2021, last year. We can see that Jacob, Josh, Matthew, and Michael are all gone, but at the golden spot, holy hell, Sam is still there. The fact that it has lingered among the echelon of popular boy and girl names and has never faltered far from it means that there is always a Sam lurking somewhere. I learnt this at a very young age. I went to a primary school full of maybe 600 kids. There were 7 other Sams there with me. By the time I got to high school, I basically lost count, but I did know that there were 4 other Sams in my grade alone, 2 of which did English Advanced along with me, so every single time the cohort combined and someone wanted to get our attention, the other 2 would have to work out who they were trying to talk to. It was never me. I wouldn't answer back. I was the quiet one. But I'm pretty sure there were some times where the wrong Sam replied. Sam Neill, Sam Claflin, Sam Worthington, Samuel Leroy Jackson, Sam Hewen, Sam Smith, Sam Raimi, Sam Cook, Sam Elliott, Sam Johnson, and Sam Mendez. Another name that might get this treatment is Michael. And this is also true. That name is so common that showrunner Michael Schur has 2 different shows with a central character sharing his own name. Both Michael Scott, famous philanderer, and the enigmatic Michael from The Good Place. You know, that last one is actually quite interesting because Michael from The Good Place is played by Ted Danson, and some older viewers might look at The Good Place for the first time and go, hey, it's the guy from Cheers. And true, Ted Danson did play a central character in Cheers. He played the role of Sam. Ha! 6 degrees from everything, my name is the God Particle of the universe. There are countless characters with the name Sam. I'm talking about a Sam that's a part of one of the most popular fantasy franchises of all time. He's actually quite large in shape, but has a kind and modest demeanor some like to misconstrue as meekful cowardice. This Sam isn't really the conventional hero type, but plays a big part in assisting what you might refer to as the hero of the story, who is much more conventionally attractive in ways, and also has a part in trying to defeat a great existential threat that faces all of existence. He's also really into one woman in particular, and is able to defeat several enemies despite the fact that he's not the hero type. And isn't the fact that you can't tell whether or not I'm talking about Samwise Gamgee or Samwell Tarly a little bit distressing? Tons of complicated and exotic names like Bilbo, Gandalf, Elrond, the Balrog of Morgoth, Galadriel, Sauron, Isildur, Isengard, Palantir, and Tolkien takes one look at probably the MVP of the entire story and goes, "Oh, Sam." Both Sam from this fantasy magnet and Sam from the other fantasy magnet are valuable sidekicks, and for some reason, that's the trend with most Sams. Anthony Mackie is now Captain America, but for the longest time he was his sidekick Falcon. During all of this time, though, his name has been Sam Wilson. Supernatural had a co-main character placed for their Sam Winchester, and iCarly, of course, had Sam Puckett. Speaking of very American sitcoms I haven't watched, there's Sam Evans from Glee, and then there was this other one I was aware of called Life with Boys. It might not have captured the nation's attention, but it surely had just as much Sam. Quantum Leap is about a scientist that finds himself thrown back in time after an experiment gone awry. The main character is played by Scott Bakula. His character's name is Sam. Moreover, Life on Mars is a British TV show in which a detective finds himself thrown back to the 1970s after a car accident. The main character is played by John Sim. His character's name is also Sam. Splinter Cell? More like Sam, thanks to TV show Heroes. Now I have Google complimenting me. See, it's right there. Samuel is an evolved human. Thanks, Google. I always knew I was special. Atypical is a Netflix show about the pains of growing up with ASD. The main character is really into penguins, and his name is also Sam. Counterpoint? Sam Witwicky from Transformers. Tom Hanks has been in many movies, and some might like his performance in Sleepless in Seattle, a movie about him trying to get over the death of his wife. His character name is Sam, which is also the character name for Tobey Maguire in the movie Brothers, which touches on PTSD that many veterans experience once returning from war. Death and its friends can do crazy things. Too bad ghosts aren't real. Oh, Patrick Swayze famously played one in Ghost, and yep, ghosts are usually spooky, just like werewolves or aliens. The World's End has a first half about a pub crawl that descends into a second half that includes an alien invasion. Rosamund Pike is among the cast, and she plays Oliver's sister, Sam. Also, Tron Legacy has the main character of Sam Flynn. Here's a bit of a quiz for you. In popular American sitcom Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which of these micro-characters were given the name Sam? Is it A, Rose's little brother from the Brooklyn Big Brothers program? B, Charles's meek, kind-hearted, clad in Mervyn's cousin? C, a crossword puzzle maker with literally the saddest laugh I've ever seen? Or D, the name of that lawyer that helps them at the end of season 4? If you answered with B, Charles's cousin, then you are correct, because in fact Sam is his name. But if you answered with A, you would also be correct. And also with C and D, because they're all named Sam. That's right, 4 different characters with the exact same name. I know they're micro characters and they don't appear in the same episode, but this is getting crazy. Top Gun Maverick has done very well both financially and critically recently, the climax of which involves surface-to-air missiles. Their acronym is a SAM. Apple's competitor, Samsung. You've got My Sister Sam, I Am Sam the Movie, Sam the Eagle from the Muppets, Yosemite Sam, Good Sam, The Son of Sam Murders, both the Pajama Sam and a Fireman Sam? Fuck it, we've got Sam Sam. This trend has become so rampant, top 10 characters named Sam has become suggested on WatchMojo.com. I mean, you've got all the classics here. Gamgee, Tali, Tommy Lee Jones from The Fugitive, that chick from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Ben Shapiro makes a cameo. We, as a society, have already exhausted the usage of the name Sam. And there's only one thing we can really do here to enact any sort of change. This shall be my petition. We need to retire Sam as a name forever. No more children, no more dogs, no more character names, no more discontinued Australian retail stores, to movie monsters, all the way to military-grade weaponry and Muppets. Stop it. As a Sam, I find it ridiculous that it's gone this far. This is the real pandemic. The case numbers just keep coming in. When is the government gonna roll out these restrictions, huh? What are they truly hiding? I'm willing to change my name to do this. Wait, no, actually. No, I've had it for 20 years, I probably should keep it. But I mean, I don't want any more joining the roster. No child shall be inflicted with this post hence. Away with this disease and let it fester no longer. The name Sam is now officially deleted. Congratulations, we did it, everybody. Let's replace it with more unpopular boy names like Hadrian. Yeah, Hadrian. You know what? If you ask me, it needs to make a comeback. I'll see you guys later.